Hey everyone, so in this video we're going to be analyzing some games from a website called SteamRip in order to figure out whether it's malware. So yeah, SteamRip is one of the most popular piracy websites for gaming. But my last video I was analyzing FitGirl Repacks, and there were a lot of comments about how like I didn't analyze it properly or something, even though the two websites that I used, Hybrid Analysis and Virus Total, are some of the most well-known and reliable automatic analysis websites out there. And there were a lot of people telling me to do manual analysis, but the thing is, manual analysis is just a more unreliable version of the automatic analysis. Why would I do it manually when these websites just do it in the span of like 5 seconds? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But, you know, so we're going to be analyzing a game on this site, and it's called Party Hard, okay? So let's start off with Hybrid, alright? Let's drop the exe into here. Oh, so as you guys can see, even the antivirus thinks it's malicious. Alright, so anyways, this is already looking very sketchy. This is even more sketchy than FitGirl Repacks. But let's just scroll down. So let's go to the meta defender results first. CrowdStrike Falcon thinks it's clean, but there are no additional data or details, so that's a bit of a red flag. But let's go to more details here. Alright, so you guys can see that there is a Trojan, which has been detected by VirusBlock Ada. Now, VirusBlock Ada is quite a reliable antivirus. It basically uses a lot of cloud-based scanning in order to figure this out. So, bscope trojan.agent. So let's just search up what this malware actually is. Okay, so I found a Reddit post about this. So I downloaded a game from Steam Unlocked, then after scanning the zip file, it says it contains bscope trojan downloader. There isn't really any consistent results. Like, they're just saying it's likely okay, but like I don't think, you know, that's really enough, especially considering that if you go back, there's also a suspicious reading down here. So, you know, maybe like it could be a false positive, but I mean, I wouldn't trust it. Like, it does say there's a Trojan, and like, yeah, I just wouldn't really trust that too much. Let's go down to the Falcon Sandbox reports, and we'll go to this analysis. And we can see here, so once again, there is anti-reverse engineering. So what that means is that it's trying to stop you from analyzing the file. Very common in malware, especially modern malware. We can also see it found a potential email address in the binary. So that is not too bad. I mean, that doesn't really mean much. And then we got monitors specific registry key for changes. So yeah, this is to do with the Windows registry. So most likely what it's doing is it is actually monitoring the changes in the registry, which could actually be a huge problem. Then we have Yara signature match. Okay. There's only a 5 out of 10 relevance, so you know, it's not like horrible. Opens file with deletion access rights. Okay. I mean, it's just a txt file that it opens, so. Oh, here it is. Anti-detection / stealthiness. Contains ability to inject code into another process. That isn't always bad. Like, that could be pretty normal. Like, maybe it's just injecting like the DLLs or something, or the bin files. Okay, so it could actually be to do with crypto mining. It says contains ability to use cryptographic classes. Most likely to do with crypto mining. So it's possible that this has a crypto miner in it. We can see. Yeah, so it seems to just like have a lot of awareness when it's being analyzed, and that's like the main thing. Network related, contains ability to communicate with C2 using sockets API string. Oh, we got some spyware. Calls an API possibly used to take screenshots. What? Okay, that is real sketchy. Okay. Calls an API typically used for taking snapshot of the specified process. Let's look at the details of that. Contains ability to retrieve usernames or user information. Another very sketchy thing going on here. Contains ability to access device drivers. Yeah, I mean, this is just real sketchy overall, like, you know. I mean, come on, look at all of the sketchiness, like, spyware, for starters. Like, you really trust that? Even if, Like, why would this app ever need to see your information? I don't understand that. We also, okay, yeah, we've looked through all this. All right, let's go back. Let's go to the one that says no specific threat. Well, there's still suspicious indicators, but there isn't like an exact threat that it found. There is still obviously the anti-detection, the crypto mining. Yeah, I mean, we also got network related, found potential URL, and binary. Ooh, okay. I mean, it's just Unity, actually. Unity is just a software in order to create games, so that probably is not, like, actually that's suspicious. Contains crypto-related strings. I mean, cryptography could actually just be, like, something to do with coding, because I have seen it before, but, you know, I don't know if it's crypto mining or not, because cryptography has multiple meanings. So, contains string like password/secret. Contains ability to access device drivers. Alright, so, you know, I think overall, it's quite suspicious. Alright, even though it's not like a very obvious malware. So it is quite hard to say whether this is a false positive or a real detection. But I would still not trust this, okay? Especially since it's coming from pirated site. I mean, you know, I don't know why a game, like just like a regular video game, would have any malicious indicators to begin with. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't trust it. But let's look at some other files. Yeah, we'll also, I think we'll use VirusTotal as well. We'll just like check it. Again, there's the Bscope Trojan agent. So that is one thing that it keeps checking, and it keeps like there's continuous detections about this, but I think because there's only one detection, I mean, it could be a false positive. So maybe it actually is a false positive, but I'm not 100% sure. And then relations. Ooh, look at this. Okay, that is a bit suspicious. However, I believe that these files are actually not related to this file, so it's possible that this actually doesn't have anything to do with this, but I still wouldn't trust it because it is still related to the file. You can also see, let's look at the behavior. Let's see if it, okay, so there's still evasion. It's still trying to evade that it's, tries to load missing DLLs, installs a raw input device. Okay, that is really suspicious. That is extremely suspicious. Why would it want to capture your keystrokes? Sample has functionality to log and monitor keystrokes. Alright, so yeah, instantly, I mean, this is pretty suspicious. Like, even though in the detections, I think that's actually a false positive, when you actually go into the behavior and you see what's going on here, you can see that there's clearly some sketchy stuff going on here. Open SSL. So Unity is fine. What is curl.hacks.se? What is this? Well, let's see what this is. It's a command line tool. Okay, so it might not be suspicious. Like, it's possible that it's actually not suspicious. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that is trying to, like, there's a lot of, like, mixed signals here. Like, it doesn't look overly malicious, but it also doesn't look safe. So, like, it is quite hard to tell here. And, like, since that this file detects its debug environment, it's not possible to do manual analysis to figure this out for sure. So, I'm gonna have to honestly, like, I'm gonna have to say it's unconclusive for now when it comes to just this file. So I would say just don't install this because you don't know. Like, it might actually contain malware. So I wouldn't risk it. I would not use SteamRip. I would probably use a site like Steam Unlocked. It's probably a lot safer. So, yeah, we'll use file scan as well, but I think I've already come to a conclusion that it's, like, kind of hard to tell. Alright, so just went into it and checked this out. So so again, it's VM detection. Another very sketchy thing that malware uses. So there's defense evasion. Thread execution hijacking. Found a legitimate service URL known to be used as C2 server by some malware. But again, like, it's all suspicious. There isn't, like, an exact malware in it. but it does look like it's very well made malware, and it's actually hiding the fact that it's malware at all, which is quite common with current malware. And you actually have to go in and look at what we looked at, the behavior and the sandbox reports, and that's when you can actually find the malware. But Metadefender thinks it's malicious, and so yeah, I would honestly say that this is very likely malware, but not entirely. Like, I think that it's possible that some of these could be false positives, but I still wouldn't risk it. I would not risk running this file just because it is very suspicious. Honestly, I think that's all we really need to do, because, I mean, if you go into there's no other, like, files that we can really run. I guess the DLLs maybe, but I have a feeling, because I think that this exe is pretty much, like, responsible for loading everything. So I would say that, like, if it really, like, if these files contain malware, then the exe would be the thing, like, running the actual malware. So yeah, I would just not install it. This is just all setups and stuff, like, that's not required. So yeah, I think that SteamRip is very suspicious. I would not suggest installing anything from it, just because I think it's most likely malware, from what I've seen here. So yeah, this is the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one. So yeah, goodbye.